Hi, I'm Karen. We're here at Montavilla Sewing Center, and today we're going to show you a few of the feet on this machine. We're going to start out with the walking foot, or the even feed foot. This is a really neat device to help prevent drag on layers. So when you're sewing with something like batting in the middle here, what tends to happen with your regular foot is that the feed dogs pull back on the bottom part, and the presser foot pushes things forward, so they end up getting sort of this uneven feed. What this does is it has some feed dogs on the top, which every time the needle goes up, it pushes down and actually pushes the presser foot away from the fabric, and then the feed dogs slide along with the fabric so it feeds evenly. So I'm going to show you how to attach it to your machine. Now, the book is going to tell you that when you are attaching and removing accessories like your needle and your feet, to turn off the machine. But for video purposes here, I'm going to just show you how I do it with the light on. So take that off of there. This is the regular foot. Now when you put this on, this little fork here needs to go right over the needle bar, and that's going to make sure this operates correctly. So we put it on from behind. Actually, I'm going to need to take that screw all the way off, because this here, we need to remove the screw entirely in order to put that on there. That there, and then make sure that that fork goes right around the needle clamp screw bar, and put the thumb screw back in there. And when you put accessories onto your machine, always tighten them with the screwdriver, never just finger tight, because the machine, it does a lot of vibrating and you don't want things falling loose while you are sewing. Okay. So for thicker fabric like this, thicker layers, we want a longer stitch length, maybe 3.5, something like that, because the thread has further to go to get through all those layers. We'll put that under there. Now, so you can see I've got the edges even, the batting and the two pieces of fabric even, so we're going to give this a whirl. And I'm going to go slow so you can see what those upper feed dogs are doing. They are moving because the fork is right there around the needle clamp bar. And as you can see, the edges are staying pretty even. That's really good. It's doing what it's supposed to do. Cut that, lift this up. And that is what the even feed foot is going to do. Now, if we were going to, let's say I had a quilt or something, blanket, I was going to put some lines of stitching down. We have this wonderful tool, which is a quilting guide. I'm going to show you how to use this. You can use it with your regular foot, or you can also use it with your even feed foot, which is a good thing if you're quilting and you've got batting. You want to be using your even feed foot. There's an extra little screw here, because it's going to take a little bit of extra space to clamp this on. This is where you would clamp this on. So to put this together, this is going to be your guide. This is what you would put on either the edge of the fabric or on your previous line of stitching. Let me put this on there like that. Tighten this down. You can also take this little piece off with this screw here, put around the other side, and it makes it a nice wide guide. This is one of the neat features about this machine. You can make a very wide distance from one line of stitching to the next. Also, you can actually put this on the other side, so you can have your line of stitching on this side. That would be nice for if you're stitching down the middle of a big blanket or something and you're getting more and more fabric over here. Well, you'd like to be able to use your lines of stitching on this side. You could turn it around. I'll show you how that works. Take this little guy off of here. Dozens of ways that you can arrange this thing. Put this over on this side. And now we have the guide on that side there. Okay, so I'm going to put this back the way it was, just for demonstration purposes. Okay, and we want these pretty much even like that. You can always arrange it a little bit later. Now these here don't really need to be tightened so much with a screwdriver because they're not attached to the kind of the business end of the machine like this one is here. This one we need to make sure that that's attached tightly with the screwdriver when you're using it. So I'm going to take this guy back off, but we're going to leave that in place. Put this guy on here like that. Everything lined up just this way. Okay, we're going to start putting that up there. There we go. It's got to be into the presser bar. So there's two bars. There's a needle bar and there's a presser bar. So putting that right into the presser bar. Tighten it up by hand. A little bit tighter by screwdriver. And now I'm going to grab a piece of fabric here, kind of see what I'm talking about. Put that off to one side. So let's say I did my first line of stitching, like this. Okay. Cut that off, and notice I didn't have to touch anything. All I had to do was just press on the back end of the foot there. So now I want to have an even distance from this line of stitching to my new line of stitching. So where I'm going to be watching is right here. So as I start sewing, there I go. Stitching straight is all about knowing where to watch. There we go. And you can see those lines are perfectly parallel. Now, they're not even with the fabric because I didn't start out sewing this one even with the fabric. I could have even made diagonal lines and made them parallel. So this is the wonderful feature of this machine. We could make this out further or in further. If, of course, you can use these as guidelines for the edge of your fabric, but if you're sewing with a line on the top of the fabric, that's what you want to use this quilting guide for. So that is the even feed foot and the quilting guide. So thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give us a thumbs up in the area down below. And if you have comments or questions, you can leave us some there. Stay tuned for our other videos. Thanks for watching. Bye.